Great afternoon. Well, I'm up here for a few minutes. I want to pull some cards. And they're going to have the summit meeting. And Xi Jinping is not going to go. So what is going on with Xi Jinping? Why is he not going? My feeling is the country is in dire straits now. But I think that he fears assassination. But let's pull cards and see what the cards have to say. What can you tell me about Xi Jinping not going to the summit meeting in India? Now they're saying also that part of it is that China is on the outs with so many countries, and when it comes to India, where it's going to be held, that China and India have that border dispute as well going on. But let's see. At the center of it, it's the new action. He fears a new action. Okay, going into it, we have a burden. Difficult things happening now. Like I said, in China, they are just having floods. They're having bankruptcies right and left. The whole thing is disintegrating there. What's going on now is fishtails, okay? The lies, the fishtails, the drama that's happening. The challenge is trying to juggle this stuff, things up in the air. Clarification feels that things are upside down. He's in a holding pattern. It's just not looking good for them economically, etc. Above it, we have the floods and the other stuff happening, that things coming down that he does not like. Of course, we have all the flood waters that's affected everything. The people in these flood regions, and there was, so people are saying over 100,000 dead. And the Chinese government said there were 29 people that died. And the people are saying, no, it's like 100,000 people died. So it's about trying to move out of this critical waters to a better time, and so he just trying to figure out a message. Okay, the economy there is collapsed. Again, it's the new action, and it's the message. What can I put out? What can I say at that conference? We have his trying to have a strongman attitude, and it's about the choices that he's making and choices going forward. Now, I guess he is sending somebody else in his place, but again, he doesn't want to face people, does not want to face the music. Underneath of it all, we have charging forward, things rapidly as far as what's being offered. Once a victory, and here we have what's being birthed, and the economy, new things, and things he just wants to walk away and distance himself from. He does not want to deal with any of it because of all the deaths, okay, and trying to figure a way going forward. Okay, so let's break this down. So when it comes to the actions, this is about the new action and the burden he's facing now in China, and he wants a victory. Okay, he's got no way to promote himself as large and in charge in a victory status. Okay, above it, he doesn't like what's coming down the pike, what he's having to deal with, trying to figure out the fishtails. I'm sure he does not want to go there and be questioned about what's happening there, what's being offered up, and that is what he just wants to run away from, okay? He wants to distance himself from this. We have the foundation is about the message. What is the message that could be put out there about getting forward, coming forward out of the floods and all the other drama that's happening with the collapsing economy? He wants to try to maintain a strong image. So charging forward, he just does not want to hear it, does not want to deal with any of that at the conference. He doesn't want to answer any questions. He does not want to, again, deal with any of it. The grounded stuff is about the practical message about how things are having to be juggled and what can they do now, starting with making things better with the economy. He's hung upside down now. Everything's topsy-turvy. It's not moving. As far as his choices, we have, dealing with America. This is my card for America. And it also could be what's being birthed. But America, some things are ending. When it came for him to be doing, more business with America. So we had, of course, 45 out there crowing that, all the cars are going to be built in China. Yeah, it's going to be done in China. It's not going to be done here. Well, that's not true, because in China, what's happening now, they have thousands and thousands and thousands of these electric motor vehicles, cars that they had made that are blowing up, catching on fire, and they're causing devastating fires around. Now, nobody wants to buy them. There are hundreds of thousands of them sitting there, and nobody will touch them because of the type of battery they put in those cars, and they are just exploding, okay? So they got fields and fields and fields of these EVs that they had made and were out there selling, and that are now just out at random. They could be driving down the street and the thing blows up, catches fire. In a garage, it blows up, catches fire, and once it catches fire, it burns, and it burns hard, and it burns long, and it can also burn other things that are around it. So as far as we're going to have all the cars made in China, there is no way on God's green earth that that would happen. So another one of 45's fantasies and his crazy assertions. Let's pull some 3 cards. We'll do some 3 cards of, we got the puppy wars going now. They're both wanting this old slipper that they're fighting over. Yeah. Troublemakers. So at the center of it, we have a tower moment. Yeah, it is not boding well for Xi Jinping and the Communist Chinese Party with what's being offered, okay, as far as their path going forward. So underneath of it all, big telling things, it is a big, huge tower moment with their choices. And what can they offer? Okay, they are in meltdown mode now, the Communist Chinese Party. Let's see what else we have at the center. We have this strong arm ideology, what's being given back, the payoffs, and the illusion, the delusion, okay? So like the people said that they've gotten absolutely no help from the government whatsoever. The government wanted to say they did all these great rescue missions for the people, and they're trying to put out positive images, but the things that are actually getting out, they said the government has done absolutely nothing to help them. And so many of these people are, they have nothing. They have no way to start over. They've lost their farms, some of them. One of them had a pig farm, they all died. Goats, he said he had like a few thousand, now he's down to 30. They can't start over. They've got all these government loans, and the government is still expecting them to pay their bills, although they've got nothing left. Other ones were talking about they had a warehouse, everything is destroyed. So these people, a blind woman, her whole house was destroyed. What's she gonna do? An elderly blind woman. There's no way she can rebuild. She doesn't have anything. So that's what's going on. As far as looking deeper, investigating, we have the people coming together and exposing secrets. Okay? There are people getting out to the world. Okay, the secrets that the communist government is trying to hide. Now, I just started reading a book, and it's, is it called A Bitter Wind? Oh, Bitter Leaf, I think it is. And it's a woman's story about growing up in communist China, and all of the horrible things she faced growing up there. So we're going to do the Lenormand. Let's pull some 3 cards and see what it says. At the center, the promises. Okay, promises. Looking forward, kind of turned their back. They've turned their back on all the promises. Okay. They've had the rain, they've had the waters, and the government has turned their back on the promises, and there's just a whole bouquet. That means a lot of stuff happening there at once. And of course, the government is not willing to see anything. They're not willing to turn around and go look and see what's happening. They're in denial about it. This is the hard wheel, the crushing wheel. Documents what's being put out. I think this is what they're trying to tell about the direction where it's going. So again, people are under this crushing wheel, and the Xi Jinping, the CCP government, wants to put out erroneous things about the direction and what's happening there. Just so sad for the people. We'll do one more. The obstructions, the difficulties at home, where they live, housing, real estate, and again, trying to move it away and create a different storyline when it comes to the housing and building and all of the other things that are collapsing there. So many of their things that they did, their infrastructure and building rapidly, and they were bragging and boasting about it. Well, they call them tofu buildings because they just fall. And there's tons of them that have been built that are empty, and ones people have paid for, and they're not building, they're not finishing them. So the people have already paid, invested all this money, and they're not getting their homes. And so many of these companies now have filed bankruptcy, and they are collapsing one after another after another. So yeah, it looks like Xi Jinping does not want to be out there where there will be a light on him asking questions. He does not want to see and hear anything, does not want to speak, does not want to address any of it, because too much is getting out there about how things are failing in the communist, People's Communist Party. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to leave this here. I thought it might be that he was fearing assassination, but it looks like he just does not want to face up to the fact and be asked about all the things, the collapsing economy in China. Okay, and so again, for what 45 says that all of our cars, EV cars, are going to be built in China, nobody will even buy them in China. They have thousands and thousands and thousands of them sitting there that they cannot sell because they are exploding, just going up in flames. And so, it's a dying thing there in China. So on that note, I'll leave that here, and I'll see you online.